For now, it's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
다 했다. 가자.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
내려가 보자. 지하. 뭐야?
And drawn entomology charts. What's in there? It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
9 beetles. All different, all dead.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean. It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold. A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
I like that you called them rooms. Forensic Entomology, Volume 3.
서재 곤충 코너에 있는 책들이 다 여기 있나 봐.
That's an incredibly specific area of study.
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it? Weird looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
걸쇠가 올바르게 자리 잡을 때까지 대각선으로 밀어봐. 아하. 오호라.
A few moments later.
된 건가? 된 거 아니에요? 이거 봐요. 이렇게 해서 이렇게 해서 이렇게 해서 이렇게 해서. 오, 맞다.
I got it.
와, 어려웠다.
I'm impressed. Anything inside?
Yeah, more
와.
research.
이번 퍼즐이 제일 어려웠다. 이것은 연구 노트 및 도표가 든 폴더. 여기에 황금 딱정벌레가 들어가면 딱인데요. 1번. 우리 고유의 동식물은 아직 알려지지 않은 수많은 화학물질의 부산물이다. 이 화학물질은 물속에 끊임없이 존재하며 구름을 형성하고 호수를 채운 것이다. 이것은 식물과 동물의 다양한 돌연변이를 일으킨다. 3번. 거미류, 곤충, 연체동물, 양서류 및 갑각류와 같은 작은 생물이 가장 큰 영향을 받는다. 그러나 화학물질은 먹이 사슬을 따라 올라가서 새와 파충류에게도 돌연변이를 일으킬 수 있다. 우리가 아는 한 포유류는 완전히 영양권 외이다.
Whose research is this? This is some seriously in-depth research.
It's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
빠진 부분 있죠? 완성. 이거를 근데 포인터 교수가 갖고 있었단 말이에요.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
포인터 아저씨가 수상하네. 포인터는 황금 딱정벌레를 번식시키려고 했으며 장소는 지하실 실험실이었다?
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
돈 벌려고.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
밑에가 있어? 와. 잠깐만.
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
금속 막대. 매끄러우면서도 견고한 금속 막대. 누군가 이것으로 사진을 찔렀다. 막대의 끝은 마치 화살이나 시계바늘처럼 뾰족하고 구부러졌다. 뒤쪽에는 짧은 길이의 빨간 밧줄이 연결된 작은 고리가 달려있다. 금속은 완벽하게 깨끗하고 광택이 난다. 어? 빨간 밧줄?
So what's the photo?
사진? 액자에 있지만 약간 젖어있다. 사진 속에는 한 소녀가 있다. 그 옆에는 큰 남자가 앉아있다. 그 주위로 빨갛고 하얀색 몇 마리가 있다. 금속 물체가 사진을 찌른 상태이다. 남자의 가슴 근처에 구멍이 나있다. 어?
Do you know who it is in the photo? This man in the photo. He reminds me of something.
여기 있잖아.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, makes sense when you know who he is.
레밍턴 경 아닐까?
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
오, 하늘과 바다의 미스티드. 어린이용 그림책. 매우 오래된 것 같다. 얼룩새, 빨갛고 하얀 깃털의 우아한 새. 은뱀. 눈이 없고 긴 혀를 가진 수생 파충류. 영혼 전달자. 각 크기가 다른 집게발을 가진 개. 양서구리. 두 발로 걷는 개구리같이 생긴 생물체.
Basements don't normally have windows.
그치, 창문이 있네?
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
어?
Where are we?
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
그니까 너무 밝아.
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom,
그치?
not lighter.
맞지?
Why is there a room down here anyway?
그치?
And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
펼쳐볼게요. 미스티드 저택? 탱글 타워가 아니었어? 지금 우리가 있는 곳이 여기 호수, 그리고 이 위로 그랜드홀, 서재, 창고가 프레야의 방이죠. 그리고 침실, 연구실? 연구실이 있어? 아, 그리고 이 위에는 아직 없을 땐가 봐.
Hold on. Have we been to all of these rooms already? Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we know.
How did we miss it?
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
건축 계획도, 미스티드 저택 북쪽 횡단면 구역, 계획도가 그려진 양피지가 말려있다. 대저택의 건축 계획도 있다. 수평선은 과거 호수의 수위이며 두 번째 표시는 현재 수위이다. 저택은 기둥이 지탱하는 호수 위에 큰 구조물 위에 지어졌다. 프레야의 방은 창고라고 적혀있다. 중심부에 연구실이라고 적혀있는 방이 있다.
Let's head back up. I want to find that last room.
그니까 그 연구실로 어머머머머머 날이 어두워졌네.
Wow.
이거 뭐야?
It's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
위로 어떻게 올라가지?
Hang on. It's pitch black, but I think there's a switch. A ladder.
Wanna go up?
숨겨진 심장? 부? 와,
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
아까 그 프레야의 일기장에 5명을 만났다 그랬고 눈을 다 파버렸다 그랬어. 단단한 나무 액자 속 사진, 먼지투성이며 오래된 것 같다. 액자 밑에 노쇠판에 적힌 것은 미스티드 저택의 대표자들. 사진 속에는 2명의 여성과 3명의 남성이 다양한 스타일의 옷을 입고 있다. 5명 모두 얼굴이 까맣게 잉크칠되어 있다. 프레야가 한 짓입니다.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
5
Another
사람.
photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
그니까
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't
펠릭스가
think it is
아니야?
him.
완전 펠릭스 아니야?
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually...
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3? Good.
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
오호. 아하. 랄랄랄랄랄라. 이거랑 똑같이 만들어야 되나? 아 그래 어린이 아!
Perfect.
와우.
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
석궁?
What is it?
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
이미
We
찾았잖아.
found them already.
봐봐 여기에는 오 마이 갓 이건 호쿠쇼
What do you
건데?
make of it?
Not sure.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh,
호쿠쇼가
no, the
범인인가?
crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
여기도 봐야죠.
It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
아래에는 망토를 입은 실루엣으로 보이는 작은 그림이 있다. 이거는 호쿠쇼인데.
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
여러 페이지가 찢어졌지만 몇 페이지는 남아있다. 5번째 대표자를 찾았다. 드디어. 그다지 기대는 하지 않았지만 역시 실망하고 말았다. 나머지와 다를 바가 없어. 내 미스티드 친구를 실험을 위해 음악실로 데려갔다. 성공적이었다. 어쩌면 너무도. 실험실조차 실망을 안겨줬다. 무엇 때문에 그 노력을 들인 거지? 그는 내가 생각한 것보다 훨씬 근시안이었다. 지하에 갔다. 전망이 좋다. 대부분 사라진 상태지만 내가 원하는 것은 얻었다. 그녀가 들어왔었다. 조심해서 아무것도 움직인 것은 없다. 하지만 난 알지. 때가 왔다. 뭐지?
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes, but yeah, there's something.
태우다 만 곳이 있는데 그냥 먼지와 잿더미다. 잿더미 속에 검은 버튼이 2개 있다. 빨간색의 천조각이 아직 보인다.
Someone's been using this room.
오 마이 갓.
I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret.
그니까
It's
이제는
not a
어떻게
secret
아무도
to
모르지?
everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room
그치.
all to themselves.
프레야가 사용하고
Whoever it
있었던
was,
것
they
같아.
left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a
뭐지?
shame there are things missing from it. Now I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
그래 우리 다 가지고 있어.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense
그니까
does that make?
호쿠쇼예요. 완전
I don't think that's
호쿠쇼야.
why Freya made that painting. but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
프레야가
Doesn't
아니라고?
exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
여기를 이용한 사람이
sure.
프레야가 아니라고?
We still don't know what's really going on.
오 마이 갓, 엔딩에 점점 다가오고 있어요. 왠지 그런 느낌이 들어.
Time to solve this.
와우. 벌써 엔딩이야?
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
제 예상보단
Let's start with
빠른데요?
this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
프레야 위에서.
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect
그치.
hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya
Oh
was
my
found lying on her
God.
back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
아, 그치.
Unless
프레야는 이미 누워있는 상태였어.
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
그녀는 의식이 없는 상태였어.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
축음기.
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
축음기 안에 뭔가 있었어.
There was something in the gramophone.
Something small.
저 알아버렸어요. 황금 딱정벌레.
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. Now, I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The hornet's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science
실험을
experiment.
했던 거야.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit
둘
of
다
damage,
쓰러진
too.
거야. 금이 간 거지.
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints,
그치,
pink cassette
그치.
tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
They protected themselves.
How?
귀마개.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
그렇지.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3.
그렇지.
The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it
Oh,
at that
그치.
particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic. Presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
에? 뭔가
That's it.
뭔가 맞나?
There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
오케이, 가보자. 그 깃털이 없었잖아. 플로라 어디 갔어요?
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
빠진 단서.
So
알아버렸어.
what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
팔레트에
Flora's
있었어요.
ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
We found it somewhere else.
얼룩새 깃털? 아 여기 잠깐 여기.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
바로 끝내지 못한
It's in the
그림이야.
unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it, and then I could be totally sure.
저 깃털을
It's
누가
true she never
훔쳤겠어?
finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
오 마이 갓. 프레야는 자기가 그릴 그림의 계획을 어떻게 보였을까? 바로 팔레트죠.
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
이 노란 물감은 창문에 앉아있던 무언가였어.
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window.
잠깐만! 언제 왔어?
There she is, our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did.
왜 거기서... 너가 왜 거기서 나와?
But she's a very good listener.
야, 뭐야, 너 뭔데?
Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind.
오 마이 갓!
Before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding
팬이야?
our attention?
손을 묶을까? 뭐. 이걸 묶어?
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
저는 프레야의 친구들을 돕고 싶었습니다.
I wanted to help Freya's friends.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
팬이가 범인이야.
Absolutely nothing.
So,
그래도-
what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy.
뭐야?
The volition to create something from nothing. The willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
오 마이
You know what?
갓.
I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you?
근데 좀
Only a few
이상하지
short
않아?
hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed, unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
그녀는 수수께끼입니다.
I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after.
저건 너
Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy. Not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
연구실?
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end.
에?
The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids. Like cryptids. Like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
혹시 단체 사진?
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of a misted mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
그래서
How did you
여행을.
track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
Huh? 누구?
And what happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystics.
와,
Some
뭐야.
claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. Considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
그게 딱정벌레였구나.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Ah, well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
She carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, Before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Freya fell away. 유언?
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted? That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all 3 families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study. Found your notes. Found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Oh my god, 안 돼! 안 돼. 뭐야, 왜 여기서 일어나, 이렇게, 뭐야.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fit saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
아, 석궁을 가지고 있었나 봐.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
아... 와, 이게 엔딩이에요. 그러니까 정리를 하자면 탱글타워가 이전에 이제 미스티드 맨션으로 그 호수에서 무슨 자원 같은 것들이, 그러니까 호수물로 인해서 생물이라던가 식물이라던가 곤충 같은 것들이 좀 약간 이상현상이 일어났었고, 그거를 연구를 하고 뭐 그걸로 뭐 돈을 벌고 막 약간 그런 걸 했던 것 같은데, 근데 이제 어쨌든 그 5명의 사람들이 분열을 한 거는 본인이 차지하기 위해서 서로 싸우고 그랬던 게 아닐까 싶고, 서로 경쟁을 하다가 결국에는 이 사달이 난 것 같은데. 탱글타워였습니다. 아, 정말 반전이었어요. 퍼즐 요소들도 너무 재밌었고 스토리도 진짜 대박이었고. 녹화 종료.